Good morning, girls. How are you? Good Sunday morning. Wake up, rub the sleep out of your eyes. How are you, girls? Go ahead and comment down below your prayer request and something fun you did this week. This week, we finished school. Woo! We finished school. We get a summer break for the first time in years. We're so excited. I don't even know what to do with myself like this next week. I don't even know what to do. I'm very excited. So, go ahead and tell me what you did. I hope you guys are having a great time. It looks like some things are going to start opening back up. So that will be good that we can get out of the house. So last week we were in Hebrews chapter 11. It was the roll call of faith or the hall of faith, whatever you want to call it. And we learned about some people who had wonderful, great faith like Abraham, Moses, Sarah, that chapter mentioned that had great faith, and how without faith it is impossible to please God. Well, today we're back in Hebrews. This is our last week in Hebrews. Next week we'll be in Esther. So if you want to go ahead and look ahead and tell me something you know about Esther. But today we're in Hebrews chapter 12 and 13, and we're going to learn about how to continue to grow in Jesus, how to continue to grow in our relationship with Jesus. So just like we're going to continue to grow and change physically, you're going to get taller. I'm not. I'm short, okay? You're all going to outgrow me, I'm sure. But as we grow in our bodies, we also grow spiritually. So we're going to look at Hebrews. It's towards the end of the Bible, remember. Chapter 12. And we're going to look at verses 18 and 22 first. So verse 18. For ye are not come unto the mount that might be touched, and that burned with fire, nor unto blackness and darkness and tempest. Hang with me, okay? The mountain it's talking about is, remember, when Moses went up on the mountain to get the 10 Commandments from God, and the children of Israel were left down, and if they touched that mountain, they would literally die. So this verse is saying we don't have that sort of experience with God, where if we go before him or go where he is, we'll die. No, that is a sad, sad way to live, and we don't live that way. Let's look at verse 22. So we don't live that way, but ye are come unto the Mount of Zion, and unto the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and an innumerable company of angels. So we get to come to the Mount of Zion. We get to go where God is. There's innumerable angels. We're in the presence of God and Jesus. And that's wonderful. So we don't have to be afraid. You know, we've talked before about having to go through a high priest, and they would make the sacrifices, and that we didn't have a direct line to God until Jesus. Well, this is sort of talking about the same thing. We can now go to God and not be afraid. God is not something to be afraid of. Let's look at chapter 13, verses 1 through 3. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. So let brotherly love continue. What do you think that means? Being kind to each other. And then verse 2 tells us, don't forget, you might be entertaining angels and you don't even know it. So be kind to everyone. Verse 3, remember them that are in bonds as bound with them, and them which suffer adversity as yourselves also in the body. So if you know somebody's hurting, you shouldn't just be like, oh, I'm so sorry for them, and then go ahead. You need to pray for them like it's your own self hurting. If you know of a friend who's sad, you need to pray for them as if you're the very one that's sad. So this is just encouraging us to have love for each other and pray for each other and help each other like it's ourselves that are hurting. Let's look at verse 5. Let your conversation be without covetousness. What's it mean to covet? To be jealous, to want something somebody else has got. So don't go around all the time with your conversation being like, oh, I wish I had that. I wish I had that. Oh, she's got that. I wish I had that. I know. We all do that. It's human nature. But this is just encouraging us to not let our conversation be about jealousy and be about wanting what other people have. Next part of the verse says, and be content with such things as ye have. For he have said, I will never leave thee nor forsake you. And be content. Be happy with what you do have. And if that's not good enough, the last part of the verse says, Jesus said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. What more do we really need? Now, I love pretty things. I love to buy makeup and all that good stuff. But what more do we really need than to know that Jesus will never leave us and he'll never forsake us? That's all we really need. And that is awesome. And that is good enough. So, as we continue to grow as Christians, I want you to remember that God is not someone to be afraid of. You go before him and talk to him. He's your Father. And I want you to go and remember that we are to act in love and not be jealous, and to know that Jesus is always with us. It's a lot to think about, isn't it? I hope you girls have a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye!